Okay, hi guys. Today we're going to do number 3 in the free guide, 10 things to do when you don't know what to do in the studio. So number 3 is mark making, practice your mark making or scribbling like a child. And this is so much fun because it frees you up, it loosens you up, you have no agenda, so you can just have fun. And there's no thinking about outcome. And later you can use, if you do it on the printer papers, you can use it for collage. Or many times, most of the time, if I do it on a sheet of watercolor or on a canvas, that is the way I start my paintings. My last series, Eye Candy, that I did, that's the way I started. I started with mark making. I first used a pencil, and then I went on to use some of my paint pens. And yeah, I start that way almost all the time, almost every time. It takes away the fear of the the blank canvas. It just gives you an overall sense of freedom and movement. And so, yeah, if you don't have anything else to do and you don't know what to do in the studio, get yourself some printer paper and some watercolor paper, which I have marked off in 4s. And we're just going to play around and practice mark making and scribbling like a child and asemic writing, which is what I'm going to do first, the asemic writing. I started with a pencil, and you can do it with pencil, markers, crayons, whatever, but I'm going to do it with pencil, and then I'm going to show how I do it with my Indian ink and my Robert Simmons bamboo nib. And you can get this on Amazon, Robert Simmons. And also, with Indian ink, I like to use my rigger brush, and I have it taped to a painter's stick so I can get back a ways from it. So let's start in. I like to do several sheets, maybe half a sheet with just the pencil, then half a sheet or 2 or 3 sheets with Indian ink, and then move on to my markers. I like to have quite a lot of material so that when I get ready to collage or whatever, I've got a lot of stuff. I did a little bit here with my bamboo pen and my rigger up here. So I'll demonstrate. And asemic writing is just anything. It's writing that looks like writing but doesn't mean anything. So you can just go to town with it. I wonder, you can even dip your pencil in it, in the ink, and that's kind of a neat thing. Dip your pencil right into your Indian ink. I use Winsor Newton Indian ink. That's fun. Look at that. Dip it in water and see what it'll do. Just let yourself be free here. The Indian ink is really fun. Okay, let's do this with wash my pencil off a little bit, because that's one of my favorite pencils. It still works. Okay. Now I'm going to use my rigger. Dip it in. I wet it first, of course, and then dip it and just play around. It makes a nice dark. Or keep going and it'll get lighter and lighter. Yeah, asemic writing is really fun. Just kind of stream of consciousness. Doesn't matter what you do. It would be fun actually to look at the writing of different languages, even, you know, somebody that's written in Italian or French, and use, you know, go by one of those types of writings when you do your racemic writing. See how many different ways you can do it. Okay? I really like the pencil one. That was fun. That was these. Okay, and then I'm going to use the nib, the bamboo. Robert Simmons bamboo nib. That was not, I don't know that that's as fun. Well, it's different. It's different. To make different marks and things. You kind of have to keep it kind of wet. Okay. All right. And then here, I've done some with the markers. And you know, we have various markers, so we can have various sizes. Put my lid back on here. Try using your non-dominant hand. Go large, go small. The cardboard is making it a little bit weird. And then I usually like to just rip it up and see what I've got later for collage material. Some fun, wonderful pieces. You know, these kinds of practices, you guys in the studio, when you don't know what to do and you're maybe in a funk, these simple types of practices can just get those juices flowing, and it can just kind of push you over and get your creativity flowing again. Okay, and then I wanted to show about doing them on a piece of watercolor paper. Maybe you're going to do a series and you can do 4. Maybe you want to scribble all over this, like we did a couple of videos back. It was the 10 things, only it was, I think it was it's in YouTube anyway, under 10 things, but I think it was one of the, maybe, I can't remember which one it was, doing black and white studies or something. anyway, where we scribbled all over the back, and then we cut them in tiny pieces. And you could do the same thing, scribble, and then cut it into fours and have a series starting. Or, like I said, I do this when I do my large pieces. This is how I start. This is how I started all of these. Okay? This is how I start. So, this would be taking a piece of watercolor paper and doing it in quadrants, in four, and going ahead and doing four of them. You've got the start of a series. Or you could do a full page and maybe do a, from there, finish it as a piece. Or don't finish them. Chuck them to the side and bring them back out later on when you feel like maybe playing around with color on top of them or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and do them as a foursome and do each one a little bit different. That's what I'm going to go ahead and do now. But you know what? I'm going to start with my pencil like I have done before. Because like I say, that helps you to get moving. There's no fear. It's less fear to start with the pencil. Then you can move on pretty easily with the markers. Don't think too much. Don't think too much. You start to think, you're just dead in the water. Dead in the water. Okay guys, that's about good for the pencil. And honestly, I like my first one best because it seemed like I wasn't thinking at all. And you could try your non-dominant hand with this too. Let's see what that'll do. I never do that, but let's see what that'll do. Okay, now you can cut these up in quarters. I'm going to get my scissors real quick because you can see better when it's cut. You can see better. So right off, this is just a video talking about practicing asemic writing or mark making and scribbling like a child. But looking at these, there's a couple of them that catch my eye that I would like to go more into and practice with color. But not in this video, but you certainly could. Maybe these two. Or you could go maybe I'll take these a little further and do a little bit more. It's all just playtime. Okay, guys, I hope you have fun with that. And if you do it, I would love it if you would post in the group and show us what you did. Thank you.